Hello out there. Thank you for staying tuned to my channel where I do my best to simplify the practice of quantity surveying. You're welcome to another episode where I shall be guiding us on how to incorporate your preliminaries into your bill rate. Say a situation where the client is insisting he does not want to have two separate bills, say bill one for preliminaries and bill two for the direct works. He wants the preliminaries to be infused into the rate for the direct works. That is what we shall be dealing with on this topic. Having said that, I I want to say if it is the first time of you coming across my video, please don't end this video without hitting the subscription button, so as to encourage us to continue to turn out materials that will be of profit to the pursuit of the quantity surveying practice. As we all know, there are different forms of contract out there, and the choice of any of those forms of contract will depend on the availability of information at the pre-contract stage. You cannot, in all honesty, go for a lump sum contract when the information you have are sketchy. If you go into such arrangement, the contractor is in for a shocker. He would rather prefer in such situation to go into, say, a measurements contract where a rate is provided and whatever volume of job that you carried out on site, the rates in the bill will be used to pay for whatever quantity of job that is executed. Or you go for a cost plus type of arrangement where you the total amount you have expended in carrying out that job will be ascertained, then a percentage to cover up for your profit and overhead will be agreed and paid for. So I will want to center my discussion on, say, a measurement contract where the client is saying, I want a bill of quantity, but I don't want to have two separate bills, say the bill for the preliminaries and the bill for the main works. He wants the preliminaries to be distributed evenly into the works so that whenever payment is made, some portion of the preliminaries will be paid for proportionally to the job that you have carried out. So in this case, the approach is not different from what you would do even if the two bills are separately prepared. But eventually, in the end, before you present to the client, is for you to infuse or distribute that cost which you have computed for the total, what it's going to cost you to run the site and provide all the indirect services to the site. You distribute it evenly into the cost of the total items that is in that bill. So, like I said, there is no different approach, but the infusing is what I will come to discuss with you. But let me first of all take us through the initial approach. Say I prepared my preliminary separately and I got an amount. As you can see here, over here, I have an amount of 46 million for my indirect costs, and I have a 150 million for my direct works. So I want to take us through how I got this figure before I now came and now start distributing it into each of the unit rates. I'll first of all go for the preliminaries. As you can see, I have a sheet here where I captured the cost for the management staff, which is 7.5 million. I capture the other indirect staffs. I capture their amount as 4.3 million. I capture plant and equipment as 12 million. I captured fuel as 4.9 million. Mobilization, site installations and all, and water reticulation, 3.5 million. Then 3.5 million. Then other installation like signboard, toilet, shower, septic tank, borehole, temporary fencing, storage water, tank for storage of water. I captured for 5.5 million. Then I have other expenses like blank papers for printing, printer inks, computers, first aid, safety PPE, safety wears, collective safety, removal of rubbish, communication, internet. I captured for 4.3 million. All these are also part of other expenses, clearing of rubbish from site, then cleaning of work during and after completion of work, community engagement, so youth compensation and all of that. So the total amount came to the 46 million that I showed us earlier on. And the projects, I have the calendar, how I distributed my management staff, those that will stay for 4 months, those that will stay for 3 months, and all of that. As you can see from the calendar, month 4 happens to be the last day we need to be on. The project will end, and every competition is not beyond 4 months, but it could be less than 4 months. So like the quantity surveyor is just one. Is going to stay month 1, month is 1, and all that is 4 months, and his cost is 300,000. So for the duration of the project, time is going to stay on the project is 1.2. Then the site manager, his cost is 500,000. Duration is going to spend 4 months. So also every of these things are distributed in this manner. Fueling, the pickup that I'm going to rent is going to consume 360 liters every month, and the cost for 1 liter is 1,500 for the diesel, and you have 2.6 million. Mobilization to bring in equipment and take back after outside site is going to be 1,500,000 to bring in, 500 to take back. Then site electrical installation, how to run the cables to distribute light. I'm going to spend 1.5 to get cable to distribute light all along the site for easy assessment of light. And then water reticulation, the pipes also that will take water from maybe the storage tank and distribute to convenience along the side. I'm going to spend 1 million. Then fencing and all of that. So to make this video short, I guess we must have understood what I'm trying to do with this sheet. So 46 million. Then I want to now take us to where I now computed the direct cost, which include labor and material, before I now came to now infuse them together. So we'll go to the BOQ. And I want to take us to the extreme part of the sheet where I have a table where I rolled cable. As you can see here, I have 2 columns for which is unit price and the amount for material. Then I have 3 columns for unit price and amount and the hours, because I am pricing this. My budget is in hours. That is, the labor cost is in hours. So that's why you have the hour ratio column. Then you have the unit price and the amount. And what is the hour ratio column all about? I'm saying that for me to do, say, a 1 ton, to bend, tie, and place a 1 ton of reinforcement, I need a 150 hours. And the cost per hour, say, is a 650 naira per hours. So if I now multiply 650 by 140 hours, I should be able to get a 91,000 naira per ton for my reinforcement. Then also I quickly do for concrete. I say I'm going to spend 7 hours to mix, to transport, and to place the concrete. I'm going to spend 7 hours. And if I multiply my 7 hours by my 650 per cost per hour, will give me a 4,555 naira for a cubic meter. Then now I multiply the total cubic meter I want to do, which is 70 cubic meter by 4,550, gives me 318,500 naira. So also for the material, I said the total cost of my material, cement, sand, granite, will cost me 73,000. 73,000. How did I get this? I'll go to my basic rates, my bill rate, and I'll show us how, as you can see, this is a grade 20 type of concrete. And after computing the sand, the cement, the cost of the sand, the cement, and the ratio I needed for each of the mix, design mix, I'll get for 73,000, 5 naira 8 kobo. And that is what you saw here. So now when I multiply it by the 180 cubic meter, I will now have a 13,140,913 naira 50 kobo. So also I did for formwork, I did for reinforcement, I did for all the items in the bill. Then I now came further to add this rate, this labor rate and the material rate to now give me an aggregated rate of labor and material. Then multiply it by my 180, because this 4,550 plus the 73 gives me 77,550 naira per cubic. Multiply it to get 13,959,913.50 kobo. So I did like that for all the item. I now came to the total cost for labor and material is 143,670 naira 63 kobo. This is the cost, the direct cost for my labor and material. Why the direct cost for my indirect, the cost of my indirect cost is 46 million. So as you can see, there is a differential between what I have here. What I'm supposed to have is 156, but I have a 150, meaning there is something is wrong. Because where I lifted this link, this one is this link, I linked it from here. So meaning that this figure is supposed to tally with this amount, because it is this unit rate that I brought forward here. I brought forward here to now multiply. As you can see, I shaded the color. I had to put 3 different colors so that my explanation can be seamless and you can understand. Like the light blue color is the column for the unit rate for my direct cost for labor and material. That's why I see this is the rate, direct cost, labor and material. This is the amount, direct cost, labor and material. Then this pink color is direct cost rate prelims, and this is amount direct cost prelims. Then this other light green is direct cost rate for prelims, labor and material. Then this is the amount for direct cost, labor, prelims and material. Then this other final rate is the selling cost, the selling rate to the client, and this amount is the yellow is the selling rate to the amount to the client as well, the amount to the client. So what I will do now is to first of all go and trace where the error is to balance the 2 figures that are having a variance. So I will first of all check where the error is, then balance the figure before we proceed. There is a 5.9 million difference between the 156 million and the 150. And where is the problem now? So I have to now scroll up to now see where I will see the problem. So the problem is, see there are display 000. So the problem is here. So I have 5.91. So let me check to see if it's reflecting here. So it's not reflecting here, meaning that this formula wasn't captured. So I now paste it here. So as I paste it here, you can see now the figure is balanced, meaning that I'm going to see 156 here, and I'll also see 156 here, meaning that there are no errors in my figures. So now then let us now go to how I distributed this preliminaries evenly. So what I did was to first of all say, I got the percentage of this amount for item A. The total cost of what I'm going to execute the job in line A is 328 million. So what does it represent in terms of percentage in the overall price, in the overall cost of 156 million? So it is 2%. So now what I now multiply this 2%, I multiply this 2% by I now took the 2% of the preliminaries. I now took the 2% of what this amount represents from the preliminaries, then divide it by the quantity. I divided it by the quantity, then I now have 73 naira 26 kobo to be added to the direct cost for labor and material for this item. So I now came further here now. I now added these two rates, the preliminary rates, which is 2% of this total amount represent 2% of this 156 million. Then I took the 2% from the 46 million to give me, and divided it by the quantity to give me 73,000. So I now added these two unit rates together. It gives me now the rate that has preliminaries in it. That is why you see I have direct cost rate, preliminaries, labor, and material. Then I now multiply it by the quantity to give me this amount. Then I now came to this portion. I came to this portion. Now I needed now to sell, because this is what is going to, this 426 million is what is going to take me to execute the job, including my prelims. So I needed now to sell to the client. So I needed to capture my overhead and my profit. And that brings us to how I got this 1.34. Because it is the 1.34 I multiply by the direct cost to now give me this that I sold, that I will now multiply by the quantity to give me what I'm going to sell to the client. So how did I get this 34%? The commonly used 25% profit and overhead is derived from somewhere. There's a breakdown to it. But quantity surveyors out there, they have come to these terms that either the 25% is a standard. It is not a standard. It varies from one contractor to another. The size of your overhead varies. The size of your company will determine what your overhead is. And there are some things that the contract entails that you must do. Say you are expected to bring a bond from the from a bank to get an advance payment. You are expected to ensure your staffs and the work itself. There are deferred liabilities that you will incur at the end of the job, which it is not an item in the bill, but certainly you are going to stay after completion, 6 months after completion, or 1 year, depending on what the terms of the contract is, to attend to all of this, all of those defects that will arise, and those staffs that will remain there, you're going to be paying them. So you have technical risks during the course of carrying out projects. You can either form a formwork, and during casting it will give way, and you may have to bring down the concrete and recast it. So all of those risks that you will come across during the course of this project, if you don't make some amount available so that you can draw from there to take care of those things, you are going to either be drawing those costs from your profit. So I want to take us to a sheet where I did a breakdown for it. So as you can see now, I have breakdown of overhead and profit. This breakdown is it's not exhaustive. It can be more, it can be less. So, but for the purpose of this illustration, I did this and I say, okay, for the purpose of this project, the company overhead is going to be a 1%. The deferred liability is going to be a 2% of the total cost. The insurance, I'm going to pay a 1%. The bond, I'm going to pay a 1%. The technical risk, contingency technical risk, I'm going to pay 1%. The fluctuation, say in a situation where the contract is silent about fluctuation, and you cannot be so callous not to make projection that since we're in a volatile environment where prices move ups and down, you must make provision to take care of whatever thing that might happen during the course of the construction. Because even between the time you had bidded for the job and tendered for this job and to the time the job was awarded to you, there could have been some changes in terms of market prices. So you have the 2%. Then withholding tax, which is a statutory tax that your client has to pay, you have to make provision for it. So by the time you sum up all of these percentages, you now have 15.5. Then the client can say, I want a 10%. I want a 10% for my profit. He can say, I want a 8%. He can say, I want a 5%. See, as you're changing it, your profit and overhead is reducing to 20%. He can say, I want a 3%. You see, it's coming to 18. He can say, I want a 15%. It comes to 30%. And as you are increasing it, your selling coefficient will be changing. Formerly here was 10%, and that was why your factor is 1.3%, and that's why you saw 1.3% here. So you now have this 1.3%, which you see is representing here. So the summation of your two factors, your profit margin and your overhead, gives you your 25.5%. Then and your 25.5% becomes your X. Then you now use this formula to now get what will be your multiplier that will multiply with the direct rate to now give you what will be your selling rate. So as you can see, what I did, 1 divided by 1 minus 25.5%, so gives you 1.3. So in simple terms, what I'm trying to say is 100%, which is the 1, and 100 minus 25.5% gives you 74.5%. Then 100 divided by 74.5% gives you 1.34. And that is what I linked here. I linked here to now use it to multiply my direct cost by the factor to now give me what my selling rate is. So if you now divide my selling rate by the direct cost, will give you my 1.4%, means that I am correct. So, and if you come down here, you see that I have my 46,831,000, and I have my 56,143,000. I add them together here, it gives me 202,975,000. So for me to check, most often you should always find a way to put a control. You put a control to check if you are, put a control to check if you are, put a control to check if you are correct. So what I did here to know if I am correct is I summed up these two to ensure that it tallies with what I have here, meaning that everything here, the computation is correct. Then I came here to now check to see if this is another control. This is another control. I want to see if my overhead and profit will tally with my breakdown that I have done in my selling sheet. I have 69,474,000. So I now come to my selling sheet to now come to the top. This is my total contract sum, including my profits and overhead. And these are my direct cost and my indirect cost. Sum them together, I have my 202 million. Then by the time I multiply my selling cost by 15%, I have my 42 million. My profit by the same thing, I have my 27 million. If I sum this together, I should be able to have 60. I should be able to have 69,447, which tallies with 69,474, which tallies with this, meaning that my workings are correct. So as you can see, I started from, first of all, getting my direct cost. I now got my indirect cost. Then I now brought it up here. Then now got the percentage of each of the item, the amount of each of the item to the 156 million, which is to the 156 million. It gave me the percentage that I'm going to now take as the percentage for each of these items from the 46 million. Another way, those people that are not too sure that either the client wants to see the contract to a logical conclusion, or sometimes you hear this word front loading. Rather than distributing this 46 million evenly to the whole item in the bill, it will be splitted into the initial cost, then the recurrent cost, then the terminal cost. Why say maybe the foundation? The foundation, you will now load the initial cost and part of the recurrent cost in the foundation, so that by the time you finish the foundation and the client say it does not want to do, you'll be at the better position than the client, because you made more money than what you were supposed to get. But if you distribute this evenly and you initially mobilize to site heavily, and that mobilization had cost you more than the job you were going to do maybe at the first 2 months, and the client now asks you to stop the job, you see that you have run, either you start dragging with the client to pay you the over cost of what you have expended. So some people approach it in that manner, but this is just one approach to it. You distribute it evenly, since you have the assurance that the client will see the job to a logical conclusion. If I've been able to throw light to you understanding how to distribute your preliminaries, please don't keep it to yourself. Share this video to your friends, to your colleagues that will want to have the feel of it and also learn from it. And also, like I did said, if this is your first time of watching my video, please don't end this video without hitting the subscription button. These are the only ways you can assist us to continue to turn out videos that are of benefit to the pursuit of the consulting profession. And also keep your notification button on, so that you can always get the first feel of any content that I turn out. See you in the next episode. Bye for now.